Bible says you grow four ways: prayer, doctrine, breaking of bread, and fellowship. It's just as holy to eat with somebody and hang out with us just to pray all night instead of the Bible. We grow by getting around other people. As iron strikes iron, so the compass of a friend. You got to get around people that have. So I was an engineer for a number of years before God called me in the ministry. So I went to Bible school, and 3 years later got out, got on the church staff. I was an education director. I didn't know what that was. An education director. What do you do? It's where you're educating people whatever they don't know. So what's that? It's everything they don't know. And so I started that. And so as a child, my family was from Ducktown, Tennessee, right in the southeast corner. We're right by the Georgia and North Carolina state line, right there corner. Upper Mining community, beautiful town, about 750 people. I grew up, my dad lived in Chattanooga, got a job in DuPont, but we would go back to see my grandparents and all the aunts and uncles once a month, a long weekend. We'd drive to Ducktown. We would stop in Cleveland, Tennessee. Now, a restaurant called the Shake Shack #2. For $2, you got your vegetable plate, 4 vegetables, and all the cornbread you could eat. And so we'd feed everybody at the Shake Shack #2. While we were there, we would sometimes go outside, and it was Lee College then, it's Lee University now. Church got colleges there in Cleveland, and we'd watch them play softball. And I said, now, who is this? Well, it's university. What are they doing? Well, they're playing softball. You know, we're doing this. So I was always fascinated because I grew up Southern Baptist, and so my wife had crossed over to the Church of God when she got out of high school before I married her. So she's the Church of God, and I'm a backslidden Baptist, so 2 worlds were about to collide. And so, long story short, I moved over to the Church of God, got spirit-filled, moved to the Church of God, and I got water baptized 3 times that summer. I told Pastor, it didn't take, do it again. Take it down again. And so he finally said, so I'm not baptized anymore. You got it. That's okay. I want to make sure I got it. Because I knew I was saved. I knew that God was moving in me. And I wasn't perfect, but I wasn't growing in the things of God. And so, Church God always kind of meant something special. Now, 2 of my daughters, 3 of my daughters went to Oral Roberts University. 2 went to Lee University. And our 2 kids in Lakeland went to the Assembly of God in Lakeland. So all of our kids went to Christian University except one. My youngest daughter went to the O'Moore School of Design. O'Moore, it's a French word. They only take 200 students a year. It's very expensive. She's the only one of my daughters that did not go to a Christian university, and I was not happy about it. Plus, it was the most expensive school of all the kids. It was $25,000 a year plus books, room, and board. It's a very expensive school. And so she always wanted to go into interior design. I said, you're not going to interior design. You're going to do something, help somebody. And I fought her for years, all the way through high school. She said, Dad, I'm going to go into interior design. No, you're not. You're going to do something important. Get a degree in something that's going to help somebody. You know, one daughter's going to help teach read, one's going to go into medicine, one's going to go, you're going to do something important. So 3 months later, before she graduated high school and started college, she came to me with a stack of scriptures that would choke a horse. Dad, have a seat. And here's what she said in essence in about an hour. Dad, when you get to heaven, you're going to be impressed. But Martha Stewart did not decorate heaven. Heaven is a gaudy place. The gates made out of a single pearl, one giant oyster, one solid pearl. The streets are paved with gold. It's so pure you can see through it. There are 4 angels around the throne of God with 6 wings, 2 wings that cover their face, 2 wings that fly, 2 wings that cover their feet, there's eyeballs on every side of the head. And so she went on and on about the beauty of the kingdom of God. And she said, Dad, God's really big into interior design. Then she went to when they had the tabernacle, then when they built the temple, how much gold and plated stuff, and what the Ark of the Covenant looked like. So for an hour, she was around. I said, fine, major interior design. I don't care, whatever. And so she did. Bless her heart. She probably makes more money than all my kids come out. So I'm a hillbilly. What do I know? The point of that is you live by faith every day. Where are you going? I don't know, but I'm going by faith. I know where I've been. I don't want to go back there. I want to go forward. God's mercy is brand new in the morning. Yes. So when I worked with high school kids for 10 years, I realized something. And it was a Christian school. They didn't know much scripture. I learned that early. They could rub 2 scriptures together. There was a day I gave them a test. I said, we're going to have a test today, and I wanted to give this. And, get out a white piece of paper and said, I want you to write down the 10 commandments. They don't have to be in order. I don't care what order they're in. Just write down the 10 commandments. Don't talk to anybody. Don't ask your buddy. Don't open your mouth. We're in a Christian school. You should know it. There are 613 laws. This is just 10 of them. It's the most famous 10. They're on the front of every courtyard in America. They're on the front of every school almost in America at that time. The 10 commandments are everywhere. And so a whole high school, 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th grade, not one Christian child could write down the 10 commandments. Not one. In a Christian school, a very expensive Christian school, not one knew the 10 commandments. I said, well, if you don't know them, you're probably not doing them. That's why you're in trouble. Because the only thing that scares the devil is the spoken word of God. And evidently you don't know it. So I don't care what your degree's in or how many A's you made, hell's coming. Hell makes you run at everybody. Hell made it run at Jesus. He never sinned once. And so when I was trying to work, I thought, yeah, I gotta go back, I gotta back up further. So I went all the way back to Genesis and I started working my way through. I realized, well, God had a problem. You know, Adam and Eve in the garden sinned. They got fired from their job, evicted from the house. Their kids started killing each other. That's the very first family. I tell people, family came first, church came second. Church came along and put the family back together. In the last days, God said, I'm going to pour my spirit in all flesh. Your sons and daughters are going to prophesy, not touch you out in the kitchen. You're going to dream dreams. You're going to have vision. God's moving like a freight train. He just does it on the local news station. God's not on TV. Do you know how many times Jesus did a miracle? You know the first thing he said? Shh, don't tell anybody. Every time Jesus did a miracle, first thing he said, shh, don't tell anybody. That's for you. He wasn't an after that. He's a one-on-one kind of a God. And God did that when he lost everything, when Adam, you know, go back to the Garden of Eden, and back before then, you got the three archangels, Michael, Gabriel, Lucifer. Lucifer's the big one in charge of everything. He sat over the throne of God. One day, Lucifer got a stupid thought. He said, I think I can do God's job. Now, there's eons of time. It's eternity. There was no timing. And so, for whatever reason, Lucifer met with all the angels. They went to angelic union hall. He met with the angels. He said something stupid like, boys, I can take this old man. I've been sitting over his throne for eons of time, and I know him. I can take this old man. And the Bible says 1/3 of the stupid angels stood up and said, we think you can too. And Lucifer led a revolt in heaven to try to remove God from his throne. You got the 5 owls, I say, owl is in the most owl. And so he's running his mouth. And so they asked Jesus when he was here on the earth, he said, have you ever seen the devil? And Jesus said, yes. They said, well, what did he look like? He looked like a lightning bolt coming out of heaven. He got fired from his job. It's in the Bible. It's funny, but it's in the Bible. And so Lucifer got fired. So God's getting ready to recreate everything. The planet Earth's tore up. A lot happened in Genesis 1:1 and Genesis 1:2. God didn't make anything void without form. God makes nothing void without form. So what happened to the planet? Well, the devil got thrown down here and he tore the place up. But God's going to recreate it. He's going to start all over with something lower than an angel. It's him and all the angels. And the third one led a rebellion. So he's going to make something lower than an angel. He's going to make man. I'm going to make man in my image, but a little lower than the angels. He's going to have authority over the angels, but I'm going to make him lower. So Lucifer's down here, and all of a sudden God creates, he's got the Garden of Eden, he's looking, he's watching all this. He makes this man. But what is this? What is this? Well, it's a man. And then it's Adam and Eve. So he walks in and gum flaps him out of everything. He said, you sure God said he challenged? From day one, the thing the devil did, he challenged this. Are you sure God said? Are you sure God said? And I realized in the Christian school, I've got kids saying they know Jesus. You don't know two scriptures you can rub together. It's going to get nasty pretty soon because the devil's not afraid of you. He's afraid of Christ in you coming out of your mouth. And you don't know any. And so I went to the high school, and I took them through every year, to the same course. I said, so let's go back to the beginning and show what happened. So God had a problem. So he knew when Adam and Eve got fired and kids started killing each other, Satan became, 2 Corinthians 4:4, the devil became the temporary God of this planet. He's now the God of this planet. Who's God? The devil. No, God's God. No, he's not. He gave the planet to Adam. Adam said he gave it to the devil. Satan's God of this planet. John 10:10, Satan kills, steals, and destroys. That's why newspapers are full of every day of tragedy and horrible things and death and murder and all this. What's going on? Satan's in charge. I've got, my dad had 12 brothers and sisters. My father had 12 brothers and sisters. I'm the only preacher in the bunch, and I'm Pentecostal. So I do all the funerals and weddings for free because they don't cost anything. And so I get phone calls from people when they often go through tragedy. Somebody's had an accident, somebody's died in state, and they say the same thing. And then they always use brother in front of my name. I'm just plain Joe until something happens. Now I'm Brother Joe, like I got a collar all the time. Brother Joe, why didn't God let this happen? God didn't let this happen. God God's all confidence all over. God let this happen. No, he's not in charge of anything. And he gave this planet to Adam, Adam gave it to the devil. Satan's in charge. Well, God didn't know. God's not allowed on this planet unless somebody invites him. Jesus taught 8 times in the New Testament, you have not because you ask not. Ask that your joy might be made full. God said, I want to bless you, but I can't do it. Jesus, if you read Matthew, Mark, Luke, John, Jesus never mentioned to anybody that first asking, what can I do for you? Remember the blind Bartimaeus on the side of the road? Been a beggar from birth, he's blind. He's always holding that cup out looking for money. All of a sudden, he hears a racket one day, and he said, what's that noise? What's that noise? And that healing guy's coming. That healing guy's coming. So the Bible says, blind Bartimaeus began to yell. Hey, he said, mercy, son of David, have mercy. Because even a blind Old Testament guy knew that God responds to mercy. So they get the guy yelling, and the apostles are upset. Jesus, don't pay any attention. He's crazy or blind man. He says, no, guys, stop this guy's concept. And Jesus walks over and gets down in front of him and says, what can I do for you, blind man? And Peter tried to answer. Well, Lord, I don't know if you notice he doesn't have any eyeballs. Peter, I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to the blind man. What can I do for you, blind man? The blind man said, Lord, that I might receive my sight. Jesus gave him a new set of eyeballs. He didn't go in the ministry. He didn't become an evangelist. He's got a set of eyeballs. But later on that day, they drug him down to the Sanhedrin in front of the Romans. And they grilled him. Do you believe this guy's the Son of God? You believe this guy's the Son of God? He just said, he's like, he can see for the first time in his life. He's probably looking at everything. And he said, I don't know. I know that once I was blind, and now I can see. That's all I know. Even truth will set you free. God's real simple. So when I look at all this, is growing up in church my whole life, had all these stories. So I started working with these high school kids. I realized you can't rub 2 scriptures together. I have to go back to the beginning and set this up for you. So we got to start with, not sort of start in the middle of the story. So in the middle of the Bible is a great story. Silent night, holy night, we the kings of warring army. God's coming there. Now God promised Abraham, one day I'm going to come, because he established the covenant with Abraham. Those Old Testament, we look to Christ coming by faith. We look back on it by faith. It's the same faith. It worked for the Old Testament, where's the New Testament? What is it? Straight in God's Son. Everything I got came from God's Son. He bought it for me. I didn't deserve it. I didn't earn it. It is a grace gift from God. I received Jesus. What did you do receive him? I just asked him. What did he do? It came in my heart. I became born again. He filled me with the Holy Spirit. But now I'm hanging out with the body of Christ, fellowship with the saints. So when I was working with high school students, they can't put it anywhere. They're trying to find where to put it. So I got kind of carnal with them. So, well, let's just start with Jesus when he was 12. We'll skip the wise men showing up and all this stuff. And, you know, there was a lot of opposition then. If you just read through, God told Lucifer in the Garden of Eden, he told him, he says, one day I'm going to come in the flesh, and I'm going to take this back. One day I'm going to come in the flesh, I'm going to take this back. So the devil knew that God's coming. He just doesn't know where he is, because it's revelation, not information. So he heard that the Messiah had been born. He said he's been born, the deliverer's been born. So he demon possesses Pharaoh, and Pharaoh kills baby boys 2 years of age and under all up down the Nile River. What's he trying to do? Weed out the Jews? No. The devil thought God's been born, kill him before he grows up. Now there's several stories. So let's get to the New Testament. I love it. Why has been following the star across the desert? They come see King Herod. So what are you doing? He said, well, we've been following the star. The Son of God's been born. He says, really? See, everyone following the star. I said, well, when you find him, come tell me that I might come worship him. So they follow, and they find Jesus. Now he's about a year old now. And so they find Jesus about to worship. The angels show up and go, hey, Herod's coming to kill this kid. So Mary and Joseph take Jesus, they run off to Egypt for a while. Well, the Bible says Herod gets demon possessed. He comes into Bethlehem. He kills all baby boys 2 years of age and under. What's going on? Hell's trying to kill Jesus before he grows up. Hell doesn't know where he is. Hell can't find him. It's revelation. It's not information. The devil can't find him. He can't find him. All of a sudden, Jesus is an adult. He's running the carpenter shop. His daddy's died and gone to heaven. He goes and he meets this camel hair buggy Baptist, you know, and the Baptist dumps him under the river. And what about it? And he comes up out of the river, and God opens up heaven. He sticks his hand out of heaven and says, "This is my beloved son, whom I'm well pleased." And the devil heard it. For the first time in 1,000 years, he knew where he was. God says, "Here he is. Come on. Come on, we're ready. We're ready for you." And the Holy Spirit leads Jesus off into the wilderness to square off against the devil. He's been looking for him for 1,000 years. That's him. The problem is the devil's a liar, and liars never believe the truth. No liar believes the truth. So he watches and he says, "That look, I served the Son of God for eons of time. That didn't look like the Son of God. That's some smelling Jewish flesh." So he follows him out into the wilderness, and he just stands up there in the distance. The devil's not stupid. He's watching. Well, he knows the Son. He knows that Jesus isn't eating anything. He's not eating. So he's fasting. Well, there's only 3 kinds of fast in the Old Testament: a 3-day fast, a 7-day fast, a 40-day fast. He knows on day 8 he's going for the big one. He's watching. He said he's going for the big one. Well, the Bible says the devil's attracted to weakness. He's not going to hit you where you're strong. He's going to hit you where you're weak. But thank God the Bible says, "Where I'm weak, there will God make me strong." And you've got it now. And so also on day 40, the devil walks up to Jesus. And Jesus is skanky. He's not living in a Winnebago out there. He's nasty. Man, got bad breath that peeled the bark off a pine tree. Hair's all stuck together. He's not had a shower. Mouth's all thick. The devil comes up. He says, "Are you the Son of God?" So if you're the Son of God, why don't you turn some rocks into bread? We'll sit down and eat lunch, talk over old times. It was the first time ever a human quoted the word of God to the devil. First time he quoted scripture. And Jesus said, "It is written, man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceeds out of the mouth of God." Now you have to understand something. You have to see how the word of God works. That hit the devil like a ball bat. It didn't hurt his feelings. It actually hurt him. I used to tell kids, those aren't horns on the devil's head. Those are knots Jesus put there in the wilderness. Boom. So all of a sudden the devil grabs Jesus, takes him up to the temple, because when you're not eating in 40 days, your equilibrium's not too good. You're kind of weak. So he takes him up to the temple and he quotes scripture. For the first time the word God, the devil quotes scripture to human. And he says it twice. "It is written. It is written. Throw yourself off. The angels will catch you. They won't let you shove your toes." Jesus is up there and he said, "It is also written, you shall not tempt the Lord your God." He hit the devil again. And the devil knew, that's you and that smelly flesh. That's you. So he takes Jesus up to a high place. He shows him all the kingdoms of the world. He said, "I know why you're here. You're here to get this back. I know why you're here. You can bow down and worship me, I'll give it to you." Jesus said, "It is also written." Then he hit him a 3rd time. The Bible says the devil left him for a season. The devil does not play fair. The devil will kill a newborn baby. He'll kill an old grandfather. He doesn't care who he kills. He's a murderer, a thief, and a liar. He's an equal opportunity hater. He has no feelings for nobody. He knows he's going to boil forever in a lake of fire. He's mad. And so all of a sudden, he left Jesus for a season because he cannot handle the spoken word of God. He can't handle it. So all of a sudden, the Bible says the angels came to fix Jesus' lunch. And I've got to imagine the conversation they went on. Jesus is there, stomach's all stuck together. You're not eating 40 days. You're stuck eating rabbit stuck together. They're trying to fix some lunch. And I try to imagine Steve sitting there with all the skanky bread eating lunch. All the angels are out here. And I imagine Jesus said, "Did you boys see that?" And I hear the angels say, "Yes, Lord. We saw that. That was something. We waited on it. We're waiting on the calls, but you never called us." And I can hear Jesus say, "Yes, you did, Lord. Way to go, you whipped him." Now, you don't understand. I didn't whip him as God. I whipped him as a man with the word of God. And soon there will be millions of us. The gates of hell will not prevail against them. It's the only weapon we possess. And people are always trying to make excuses. So here's what I'm going to pick up. Luke 2, switch short circuit. Luke chapter 2. This is Jesus when he was 12. I'm going to look here. Let's see. Around 42. This is Luke 2. So I'll paraphrase it. You can read it from your Bible. I'm reading New Living Translation. I love it. I'm not at the King James. I've studied the King James, but I don't speak King James. Luke 2, 42 through 52. Jesus is 12 years old. Every year, his mom and dad went to Jerusalem for the Passover festival. It's an 8-day festival. It's a 4-day march there. It's a 4-day march back home. They don't have interstates, nor do they have police outside. It's a dangerous road. So you went in caravans to protect one another. And you walk a while, and you got to make camp. They don't have kerosene lamps or flashlights. Got to make camp, get a start, get the fire going, cook your dinner, and get ready to go to sleep. Son gets up, you get up, keep moving. So they've been there for 8 days. Jesus is 12. By this time, Mary was had 2 younger kids. Most people believe they were boys, I do too. And so they're there. Thing ends at noon. 8 days there, festival ends, we're all headed home. Now, I've been to family reunions my whole life. Big reunions. My grandfather's got a 400-acre farm in down Tennessee. When people show up, they're parked everywhere in the cow path, they're everywhere. So you get out of the car, nobody goes to the house. You're a kid, you're looking for a cousin. We're going to run to the barn and get some cow patties, throw at each other, try to chase them down, ride like we're in the rodeo, run down the creek, try to catch some fish. We're just having a good time. You don't go to the house when it's time to eat. And you never leave the house once you eat, because you realize when food hits your belly, blood leaves your brain. And all of a sudden, there's going to be a fight. That's going to happen after lunch. But these are relatives. Haven't seen each other here. Hey, how you doing? How you doing? How you been? How you been? Well, you get through gum flash for about 3 hours. You get food in your belly. You start telling the truth. You're a knothead. I never did like you. I don't like you either. And also, we'd have more fights at family reunion after the meal. So as a kid, you don't leave the house. It's going to happen right here. It always did. It was entertaining. So Jesus is sitting here. He's 12 years old. They're leaving. Now, it's a caravan. Now, evidently, Mary and Joseph didn't pay attention. We're all leaving. We're going to Bethlehem. And nobody looked for tradition. He's here somewhere. He's with his cousin. He's here somewhere. They go about 4 hours from Jerusalem. They make camp. Put up the tents, top the donkeys, top the camels. It's noisy. It's dusty. I imagine Mary gets the dinner going, and she finally says, Joseph, get the boys here. It's time to eat. Joseph gets the boys in. It's just a tent. Oh, look, you can't. And Mary's speaking to Mary. She says, where's Jesus? And just, well, I hollered for him. Well, go get it. Well, evidently, a lot of time went by because it got dark. Joseph didn't show back up because it's a big caravan. And so Mary's got the boys in bed. Joseph shows back up. She says, where have you been? Well, I've been looking for Jesus. Well, get him in here. The food's cold. Well, he's not here. What? He's not here. I've been wanting to camp another twice, and he's not here. Well, he's not here. I think we left him in Jerusalem. Now, it doesn't record what God said because there are not enough pages. Like, we've lost the Son of God. We could have lost one of these. We lose the Son of God. What kind of father are you? What kind of mother are you? You don't know. So the next morning, the sun came up, and they handed off the other 2 kids to some relatives. They lived for 4 hours back to Jerusalem. Now, if this is in your Bible, you can read it, Luke 2, 42 through 50. It's all in there. They go back to Jerusalem, and they're looking for this 12-year-old kid. There are not any photographs. Hey, you seen this kid? There are no pictures. And then they spent 3 days looking for Jesus. Now, when you look for a kid, bowling alley, pool hall, movie theater, I don't know what they had back then, but they can't find him. Now, Jerusalem's a big place now. 3 days later, they've lost the Son of God. They're like, we're going to burn in hell. We're going to burn in hell. We've lost the Son of God. What kind of parents are we? So the sinner is thinking, what have we done? We've lost the Son of God. Oh, no, we've lost the Son of God. And all of a sudden, the Bible says Joseph thought, hey, we've not looked in the temple. He's not normal. Maybe he's there. And they walk in the temple, and there says Jesus, a 12-year-old boy. The Bible says he is astounding the religious leaders with his questions and his answers. Now, the Bible says Mary comes in, and she says, like all moms do, why have you done this to your father not? When moms get mad, they drag the dad in on the conversation. Dad really don't care. Yeah, we're 4 days late now. Come on, get yourself, let's go home. Well, what she did, she said, why have you done this to your father not? And Jesus answered in the King James and said, no, ye not, I need to be about my father's business. What he said was, Mom and Dad, I don't know about you. I need to find out what I'm doing. What's he doing? He's trying to find out why he's here. He doesn't know. Always heard the stories about the wise man and the star, Herod and running up things and coming back, Herod's dead. And so he's a normal kid. He can't even raise a dead goldfish. Probably doesn't make his bed. Mom has to get on him. He's a normal kid. God had a problem. Adam and Eve had sinned. Humans lost this planet. God can show up on earth like Superman and take the world back to the devil and hand it back to man. A human lost it. A human's got to get it back. The problem is God's not a human. He's God. So you can imagine the conversation after Adam and Eve were fired and victim, the kids were coming up. So, well, son, he shot his foot off. I knew he was going to go stupid on it. I knew it. I'm going to have to send you down there to fix it. You're the only one I've got. But you can't go like you. A human lost it, a human's got to get it back. What I've got to do, I've got to shove in that mother's womb. And I'm going to say, she's going to shut you out. You're going to spend 30 years just figuring out who you are. You're going to meet this crazy family, everybody in Baptist, it's going to dump you in the water. When you come out, I'm going to point my finger at you. You're it. And that's the episode. So, when you realize Jesus said, well, I need to get my Father's business. So Mary did not understand those things, but she stored them in her heart. So they took Jesus home. And then verse 52, it says, and Jesus grew. And Jesus grew. He grew in wisdom and stature, favored God, favored man. I started teaching on parenting 40 years ago, and I realized that's probably the 4 areas we need to teach on. If you had children, you need to have wise children, because there's only 4 kinds of kids in Proverbs. Wise, simple-minded, foolish, and scornful. Wise kids live a long time, end up filthy, stinking rich, and scale a city and take it captive, has favor of the king. Good things happen to wise children. If you're not wise, you're one of the other 3, and nothing good happens to these 3. Nothing good happens to a simple-minded child. They're not even like full of the devil. They just have no wisdom. They have no fear of God. They don't know God. If they stay simple-minded too long, they go to stage 3, they become a fool. The Bible says it's sport for a fool to make mischief. Fools, they love getting in trouble. They just steal stop signs, doing tires out of red light. They're a fool. Well, the Bible also says a fool is like a dog that peeps his guts out and eats it again. Nothing good ever happens to a fool. If he stays a fool too long, he goes to stage 4, he becomes a scorner. Scorners hate those that love them. They hate their parents, they hate their teacher, they hate their coach, they hate the police, they hate everybody. They hate you. What's wrong? You're a scorner. What's the Bible say about you? Cast out a scorner, strife and contention will cease. I only expelled 7 kids in 10 years as a school administrator. 7 kids. And I didn't want to do that. They write checks, they pay money, it's a private school. I really want to get you out. But I didn't think this. So what happens is this: when you become a scorner, if you get in trouble, I can deal with you one-on-one until Jesus comes. Then you get in trouble, get somebody else in trouble with you, I'm commanded to kick you out. I've got to protect the other people. A scorner gets everybody else in trouble, and he never gets caught himself. He's like a gang leader. He's too crafty. Doesn't love anybody. Doesn't even love himself. So all 7 parents that like to other kids either shook my hand or hugged my neck and finger, because they knew I've gone my 2nd, 3rd mile for this kid. They're just not responding. So I'm going to have to kick them out. Hopefully they'll get right with God. If they get better a year from now, I'll see if you want to come back in. But not for a year, you can't come back here, because you're getting everybody in trouble. So Jesus grew in wisdom. It says Jesus grew in stature. What stature? Ephesians 6:4. Rules, regulations, rewards, and punishment. You cannot have a civilized country if you don't have rules. And most people, I don't mean to do no stinking rule. I'll do what I want to when I want to. You're a fool. That's why we have police. Well, the sheriffs are right here. They're a gift from God. The Bible says, Romans 13:1-5, if you do what's right, the authority will praise you. If you do what's wrong, they're going to thump you in the head and lock you up. That's their job. I've been to 3rd world countries. You go to a 3rd world country where there's not good government, not good law, not good control. You have to sleep with one eye and take somebody with you with a news shield to the shoulder. I've been places where, who's that? Well, that's our guy. He's got a newsie. He shoots you if you do something stupid. We pay him to shoot you. It's not America. America is a nation of laws. That's why, our founding fathers based our government, on the 3 laws of prophet, priest, and king. That's why we have the executive branch, the judicial branch, and we have a presidential branch. We have 3 branches of government, so one can watch the other 2. No one can go stupid on us, because we have a balance. It's prophet, priest, and king. God set it up. So our founding fathers had a system. Hey, we're human. We can go stupid, but we're going to make it so somebody's watching somebody else. We're all watching something. You do what's right because it's right to do what's right. I tell people all the time, people, I got a hillbilly family. They're on the news. I got some that still have radar detectors on the dashboard of the truck. And I'll tell them to their face, what's that? You know what that is? A radar detector. Why do you have that? Well, sometimes we have to get somewhere. That means you're above the law. You can drive fast when others can't, since you have a radar detector. They got some things now that won't do you any good. They'll catch you speed. They're supposed to. Somebody did a study that said the safe speed limit on this road is 65 miles an hour or 45 miles an hour. Somebody smart than you did a study. This is a 45 mile an hour road. You can't do 70. They're going to arrest you and not check you. Fine. And you have to pay it or you're going to lose your license. We have laws because it's a lawless world. And then laws, people do what they want to do when they want to do it. That's why you should feel safe going out in the parking lot. You should feel safe going to a restaurant after a while. You should feel safe going to Walmart. You should be worried about somebody jumping you, shooting you, whatever. Why? It's a nation of laws. When you don't have laws, the lawless rule. It's in the book. It's a really good book, you know. And so Jesus went through this whole process. So he goes back to the wilderness and he starts his ministry. He comes back into the temple. He's been out in the wilderness. He's finally starting to eat a little bit, taking a bath, I guess. He comes back. He always went to the temple on the Sabbath. So he's in the temple. He sat there and he's listening. And the Bible said that this is after he's come back to the wilderness. This is Jesus. He's on the local Home Depot for years. His daddy was a carpenter. He's the local Home Depot guy. Hey, I need some work that way. Go see Jesus. He and his whole family on the local Home Depot. They build a new bench, a door frame, both mats, whatever you need. That family can do it for you. He's the local Home Depot guy. Everybody knew him. This thing's happening. He comes back to the wilderness. And so he's sitting in the temple after this 40-day deal. And the Bible says his enemies watched him closely. His what? His enemies. Why would he have an enemy? What did he do wrong? He never sinned. He never sinned. He never sinned. But he's got enemies. I tell you, got any enemies? Probably do. We probably sinned. We probably got enemies somewhere. Well, Jesus had enemies. Then his critics watched him closely. Critic. I know him. I've always put up there. You got any critics in your life? People talk bad about you. In your neighborhood or at work? I don't know. There's always critics. There's always enemies. And then it said, Jesus had people plotting to kill him. In 3 verses, he had enemies, critics, and people plotting. They're plotting to kill him. What did he do wrong? Nothing. I tell people, welcome to planet Earth. My family, I got a big family. I do the reunion thing, and I always talk to me because I'm a preacher. Why does this happen? Well, you live on an alien planet. This world's not your home. You're passing through. You are a child of God, which means you've got armor you're supposed to put on. Ephesians chapter 6. You have the helmet of salvation, the breastplate of righteousness, the shield of faith, the sword of the Spirit. You don't wear that 8 hours a day. You wear it 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Why? Because we're on an alien planet. We're trying just to hide out. No, there's some goofy people down there, right across the state line in Tennessee. They got a commune down there, had it for years. They live in a commune. Well, they waiting on Jesus to come rescue them. Well, they're going to be really upset when Jesus gets back. He's going to be mad. I told you to go out into all the world, preach the gospel, give food to the hungry, give water to the thirsty, help the orphan, help the widow, visit people in prison, nurse sick people back to health. You're just supposed to be salt and light, not hiding out in a stinking commune. So you can't get that defense thing. Then I got relatives still storing up food and stuff because the end of the world's coming. I love it. They got degrees, smart. I got something smart. So they got the soybeans and they got the oats in their basin. They got gallons of water. We're ready here to do this. The Bible says when Jesus comes back, it will be business as usual. People will be eating, drinking, marrying, giving in marriage, buying, selling, building, planting. The day the trumpet sounds, Walmart will be packed. People will be at the lake. They'll be in the streets. It's going to be normal. Oh, man, interesting. None of that's going to happen as long as we're here. And after the church leaves, it's going to get scammed. We're going to go home for 7 years and have a really big meal. It's going to take 7 years to eat it. Go to heaven, eat meal for 7 years. You never have to go to the bathroom. You never belch. No, you can eat forever. We'll be 33 forever and skinny. Have a meal. Have a chicken leg. And so we're going to eat forever. And then we're going to get up and saddle our horse. We're going to come back to earth with Jesus. It's not a parade. When Jesus comes back to the earth, he's coming back toward Jerusalem. You know, the Kidron Valley, and blood's going to run as high as a horse's bride. It's going to be skanky when he comes back. The Lord is coming back. It's not a Christmas parade. And you want to be on your horse behind him, not in front of him when he comes back. It's in the Bible. It's a real simple story. So what God did, he's laid it all out. This is the last days. My spirit's poured out on all flesh. He said, David, it's signs and wonders. We're going to lay hands on the sick. We're going to visit those in prison. We're going to feed hungry. We're going to have orphans, widows. We're going to be light and salt everywhere we go. Everywhere you go today, you're supposed to leave it better than you found it. Do you know the worst day to work at a restaurant? That's the worst day Sunday. All my kids work at a restaurant. The worst days Monday. They are the worst tippers of the 7 days a week. Christians are the worst tippers. Take a Christian and give it 47% while we do something. If you go somewhere, if you can't afford to leave a tip, don't go in the restaurant.
Amen.
If you can't leave a tip, stay out of the restaurant, go home and cook you some more people. You can get a hot dog for $2, go cook you a hot dog. But don't go to a restaurant that's going to let the people in there. It's not right. And it's going to get a bad name. We are the body of Christ. We can do it. I'm going to leave everybody better than I. If you leave a business, they shouldn't be throwing a party the day you leave. Thank God, great on there, going there, good Lord. So you want to make them cry when you leave. Please don't go. We'll give you a raise, give money. No. I'm here to be salt and light. I'm going to make this place better. So I've told all of our kids to get a job. Your job is to leave that place better than you find it. Make them cry when you leave. There are no perfect jobs. They have all Christians. We're all sweet. Every place of employment's got hell in it. It's everywhere. We're going there and be a blessing. So going to someplace, work harder, show up on time, don't take a long lunch, leave a little later than everybody else. Leave your job better than everybody else. Make them want to hire you and give you a raise. Don't write stupid stuff on the bathroom wall. You know, I remember that song came out, "Take this job and shut it. We ain't working here no more." Everybody loved that job in the plant. Hey, man, because it was a real noisy plant. There'd be 5 different countries, stations plant. Couldn't hear yourself think this before ocean. So all of a sudden, they're like, "Hey, turn this station, it's on, it's on." Man, all 300 guys singing real loud. "Take his job, shut it. We ain't working here no more. Take his job." And man, the foreman would laugh, the supervisor laugh. And then 3 months later, they shut our plant down. I'm pulling the gate, and the guard handed me a big piece of paper. And I said, "What's going on with your head?" I said, "You don't work here anymore. You got to work on the 3rd floor." No, they sold this plant to a company in Belgium. And I said, "I don't go to Belgium." They didn't invite you, you're taking the plant. So I burned wood in the barrel for about 4 hours. And I realized there was no future in that. I'm not going to go home and tell my wife, "What you do today?" Burn wood in the barrel. I protested. Well, my job is to make money to take care of my family. So I left there and went down to the unemployment office, never been. And I said, "What do you need?" "I need a job." I got to tell you, "I want any job. I have no job. I want a job." And so then they gave me a test. "I don't want a test. I want a job." "We don't know what kind of job to give you." "I have no job. I need a job." You know, I'm going to call it good work. So they gave me a test. The guy came out and he changed my mind. And he came out and he's smoking. He said, "Well, if you based on this test, you need to look for a job in one of these 3 areas. Stay away from everything else." Because they gave me this test to try to find out what you're good at, what you like doing. I tell people, you shouldn't hate going to work. If you hate going to work, there's a problem. Work is a 4-letter word. It's not a cuss word. You should love what you do for a living. Because not, eventually you're going to get fired, the thing's going to shut down. So I tell people all the time, and I'll close with this. My former plant, Olin Maps in Chattanooga, Tennessee, that we wouldn't take that shot show. Stayed in here for a while. It is now the home of the Chattanooga Baking Company. Now, maybe you don't know what they're known for. The Chattanooga Baking Company has been there forever. They were down there on another place for a while. They bought this plant. So the Chattanooga Baking Company, they make moon pies. They're the moon pie company. So I keep a moon pie on the corner of my desk to remind me, you don't want to take this job and shove it. You shove your job, I'll take your job, but I'm not going to shove my job ever again. I like my job. And so what you need to understand, Jesus is trying to tell us, we're going to be here. I'm here to be a blessing. And the whole thing is about what we're coming up on Easter Sunday. God suffered the devil and he fell in the Son. The Son didn't deserve to die. 1 Corinthians said, had the devil known, he never would have crucified the Lord of glory. Because when he crucified Jesus, it took his goose. Because Jesus did not deserve to die. Mm-hmm. He came to give his life for us. He bought us our salvation. When he came out of the grave, have mercy, boys, life changed. And the devil knew his gooses could. Because not just going to be one of them. Pretty soon they're going to be everywhere. They're going to be all over the planet. People that know who they are in him, in whom in Christ. So every Easter is an incredible day. What is it? I got my salvation bought back from me. Jesus, I didn't earn it. I didn't deserve it. I didn't buy it. It was a gift, but I did receive. I did receive the gift of salvation. Guys, we live in the greatest country on the face of the planet.
Mm-hmm.
Live in the most beautiful state on the face of the planet. Everybody's trying to come here. Some people leave here. Yeah, a few people that moved to Arkansas for some reason, from Florida. I thought, why don't you move to Arkansas? So, well, it's getting too crowded down there. It's a big state. Plus, I don't know if you know this, but I watched from Lake. I love Lake, but it's in the middle of the state. For years, when I came to Florida, I came up down the coast. I went on the water here. Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Melbourne. I went on the water. You know, we came over here to Clearwater. I've never been in the middle of the state until I married Angel. And she was from Lake, and I went to Lexington. Oh, this is where America is. America's in the middle of the state of Florida. It is an incredible state. They got cows and horses and hillbillies and good restaurants. And it's an incredible place. God, I'm blessed Florida. I said, you can have the water. We'll drive over the weekend. I lived in the middle. I love the middle of Florida. It's a magnificent place. So God bless you guys, wherever you're from. Welcome to the sunny state. Don't leave. Stay here. There's nothing better. It's happening right here. The world's still trying to come here, in case you don't know. Disney changed the world. He took a swamp, built Disney World. He took a swamp. He took a, I don't care what you say about it. He spent years buying up that swamp. The Bible's go there. The world meets a path to Florida. But one guy had a vision. God's got a vision for all of our lives. He said, I wish above all things that you would prosper in health as your soul prospers. My soul has got to feed on the word of God. 3 John 2. I wish above all things you would prosper in health as your soul prospers. Joshua 8. I'll prosper as my soul prospers. Psalm 103. I'll prosper as a soul. What's wrong with that comment? Stinking bread, stinking cup. No. Nothing wrong with that comment. Something wrong with people's souls. You don't believe you're blessed, you're not going to be blessed. If you're looking for it, no, it's in your hand. You got to get it in your heart. You're already blessed. You've been redeemed. You've been sanctified, redeemed from curse. God promises to bless you, but you got to have it inside. So that's what we're doing. So let's stand up. We're going to